If you get to the end of a tech sales interview and they ask you whether you have any questions for them, please do not say no. The questions that you ask at the end of the interview is really going to tell the interviewer how serious you are about this opportunity. It's going to demonstrate how you think and whether you're actually going to be someone who is going to succeed within this space. Here are my top questions that I would recommend asking at the end of a tech sales interview. The first question you want to ask is, if I was to join the team, what would success look like in the first 90 days? And the reason that I like this one is because it really allows the interviewer to define that success properly. And now you're also aware of what they would expect to be achieved, what behaviors that they would want to see from you, what would make them feel like hiring you was a great decision. And it also gives you a clearer idea of what they really value inside this role. The second question you want to ask is, how is the team currently performing against quota? Now, this is really important to ask because OTE can look amazing on paper, but if hardly anyone is hitting their targets, then the numbers don't really match. So what you really want to get from this question is understanding whether the targets that they are setting are realistic, and whether the reps are actually earning what is currently advertised. Number 3, when you look at the people who perform the best on your team, what is it that you feel that they do differently? Now, this gives you a great insight as to what success actually looks like in that specific company. Maybe their best reps are incredibly coachable. Maybe they're really consistent. Maybe they're more creative with prospecting. Maybe they ask better questions on calls. Whatever the answer is, at least now you know what it is that they actually value. But on the back of that question, another question that you could ask if you really want to flip it is asking them what usually causes someone to struggle inside this role. Because we are trying to gather as much information as we possibly can. We don't just want to hear how great the role is. You also want to understand what it is that some people find really difficult. It could be something like the outbound volume is really high. Maybe the market is competitive. Maybe some reps are struggling with consistent rejection. But at least now that gives you a lot more of a realistic view of what it is that you're walking into. Number 4, can you give me an example of someone who has progressed in this role internally? Because let's be honest, almost every company is going to tell you that there is progression, but you want a real example. Where did that person start? Where are they now? How long did it take them to get there? And what did they have to achieve before they were promoted? That is going to tell you a far lot more, as opposed to, yes, a lot of people progress here. Now, number 5, my final and last and most favorite question to ask at the end of the interview is, do you have any hesitations about me as a candidate or my experience that could prevent me from moving to the next stage? The reason I love this question so much is that you have now opened up an opportunity to handle those objections in real time. At the end of the day, it is a sales interview, so now you can handle those objections before you even leave the room. And it's going to be pretty hard to forget your interview because nobody wants to ask this question. Therefore, you're going to stand out. And that is my top final 5. So if you're at the end of an interview and they're asking you if you have any questions, don't be treating it as if this interview is over, because you need to do some digging yourself. This is a great opportunity for you to open up that conversation and really have a deep understanding of what it is that you could potentially be walking into, and for you to decide whether the role is even for you. So if you're someone who's trying to break into tech sales and land their first role, and you want some practical tips and tricks and advice and interview guidance, and subscribe to this channel because I am going to be posting every single week.